is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
In January of 2017, at Georgetown University Medical Center, Dr. Anthony Fauci proclaimed that President Trump would face a surprise outbreak during his administration. When a sociopath warns you that there is going to be a surprise pandemic, it is no longer a surprise. It is a declaration. On October 18, 2019, just 2 months before the first case of coronavirus was reported, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with both the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, hosted Event 201, a high-level pandemic exercise. They described the scenario they simulated as follows. Event 201 simulates an outbreak of a novel zoonotic coronavirus transmitted from bats to pigs to people that eventually becomes efficiently transmissible from person to person, leading to a severe pandemic. The pathogen and the disease it causes are modeled largely on SARS, but it is transmissible in the community setting by people with mild symptoms. The similarity of this simulation to our current reality is undeniable. Yet, if you were to question COVID-19's unusual resemblance to the virus in the scenario simulated by Bill Gates and his globalist friends, you would be labeled a conspiracy theorist. The idea that global entities or government institutions could orchestrate something of this scale may sound absurd, yet history tells us it is not absurd at all. In 1898, the sinking of the Maine would be the catalyst that led to the Spanish-American War. The Spanish would be blamed for the ship's sinking despite zero evidence due to the media's lying and distortion of facts. This would go on to be coined yellow journalism. The Vietnam War would be ignited by the Gulf of Tonkin, an incident that consisted of 2 attacks from North Vietnamese forces. Yet there is no proof of the second attack. The end result would be the death of over 58,000 American soldiers in a war that was never declared by Congress. And now for the past 20 years we have kept soldiers deployed in the Middle East. The initial reason for deployment, a witch hunt for weapons of mass destruction, ended in 2005. After a 16-month investigation, it was concluded that there was no chemical weapons, no biological weapons, and no capacity to make nuclear weapons. You may believe the current tyrannical overreach by government ends with the COVID pandemic, but it is merely the beginning. The World Economic Forum has a transparent agenda. Their goal is to achieve an initiative they call the Great Reset. They are power-hungry globalists who seek to be determining the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, and the nature of business models and the management of a global commons. What does this mean for we the people? By the year 2030, they claim the common man will own nothing and be happy. Now the World Economic Forum warns us that cyberattacks are the next crisis. They even compare it to COVID-19 and nature. In order for a handful of elites to dictate the fate of the globe, radical change must take place. And what better way to bring about change than breaking down supply chains and making societies unstable? We are told the cyberattacks that halted our gas pipelines and shut down our meat processing plants are random. We are to believe that they are the works of independent terrorists. However, when the response of the United States government is to promote companies to pay ransom to hackers, and global organizations such as the World Economic Forum gain from the crises that ensue them, it appears something far more sinister is at work. The media does not accurately portray these events. Believers of the old adage, never let a good crisis go to waste, they use tragedy to drive fear into American citizens. CNN technical director Charlie Chester brags about it.
COVID, gangbusters with ratings. Gangbusters with ratings, right? Which is why we constantly have the death toll on the side. Let's make it higher. Like, why isn't it high enough, today? Like, it would make our point better if it was higher. It's fear. Like, fear really drives numbers. Fear is the thing that keeps you tuned in.
If it bleeds, it leads. Yeah.
If it bleeds, it leads.
Yep. No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
Founding father John Adams once wrote, "You will never know how much it cost my generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make good use of it." It is time we the people turn off the TV, we shut off our phones, and show these tyrants that we intend to make good use of the freedom bestowed on us by God.